Jen-16 by Craig Berger. Establishing shot of a cold, desolate area with an official-looking building at the center. Title card, Facility 12, Novgorod, Russia, February 9th, 2010. Cut to interior hallway. 4 scientists and 4 military personnel walk down the hallway. On a catwalk above, in stealth gear, crouches Blake Trudeau, late 20s, fit. He is observing the men below. The men speak in Russian.
Gentlemen, I think you and your superiors will be quite pleased by what we have to show you today.
We'd better be, Doctor.
Blake removes a small metallic box from a pouch on his outfit. He clips it to his belt and pulls a wire from it, which he attaches to his ear.
I would first like to direct your attention.
Let's see if this bad boy works.
Blake flips a switch on the box. Immediately, all the Russian personnel dialogue is heard in English.
To containment 1.
Way to go, agency techs.
The scientists and military crowd around a glass-walled room. Inside it crouches Katya 9. She is 16, slim and feline. She has cat eyes and a perpetual snarl.
Here we have one of our early-stage iterated humans, A9, so named because she is in her 9th iteration.
Iteration?
Perhaps I should explain the process a bit more fully.
Blake removes a small tape recorder and clicks it on.
Yeah, let's explain the process for the boys at CIA Wars.
As you know, in the wake of Russia's failure over the last 2 decades to maintain its position as a world superpower, the government directed us to find a new avenue in which our nation could regain its former glory.
Katya hisses.
You're sure she can't get out there?
Nothing to worry about, I assure you. At any rate, the avenue we found most promising was in eugenics. Using a technique invented by and known only to myself, we created what is now known as genetic reiteration. Let us continue on, gentlemen.
In the next containment unit is Braun 12. Braun is 19, attractive, but does not move. He simply sits motionless against the far wall of the room.
In genetic reiteration, we take a human being and distill his or her genetic essence into its purest form. We then use this genetic material to recreate or reiterate the human in question. Do this enough times, the theory goes, and we create the perfect human.
This vegetable is going to bring us back to our former glory?
Hardly. Subject Q is only in his 12th iteration. While A9 has advanced physical abilities, reflexes, vision, strength, among others, her intellect does not even approach that of Q12. In fact, neither does yours. However, Subject Q devotes all of his energies to his mental facilities and is not particularly mobile, as you have observed. As you would imagine, this is still unacceptable.
So why don't you just iterate him a couple hundred more times?
Well, we surely will reiterate Q12, but there's another problem, as I will now illustrate.
Doctor, what will happen to Q12 when you create Q13?
Oh, the process will kill Q12, of course. But we will have no use for him then.
All of the soldiers except head military appear a little uncomfortable with this. Finally, they arrive at a containment unit with a solid steel door.
Behind this door is Z31. Z31 is far too dangerous to be interacted with directly.
A huge growl, and something slams against the steel door from the other side.
So, you see, after a certain number of iterations, the subject, while quite advanced, becomes something not quite human.
The Russians keep moving. Blake moves to follow and almost walks right into a wall on his level where the catwalk ends. He can proceed no further.
Damn it.
Blake peers around the wall, but can only see the backs of the scientists at this point. They have progressed too far.
The closest we have come to our perfect human is this promising young man here, Y-17.
The Russians move to another glass-walled unit wherein stands Alex-17. He is 20, handsome, fit. He does appear as if he could be a perfect specimen of humanity. He stares coldly at the Russians.
Highly intelligent, optimal physical skills.
Without warning, Alex throws himself against the glass wall, scratching and banging the wall as he screams.
And dangerously mentally unstable. It seems with Y-17 we went one step too far, which is why we are here today.
They walk further down. Blake is now leaning up against the wall, impeding his progress, incredibly frustrated. He can hear everything, but can't see anything.
Screw it.
He attaches a line to the railing and leaps over, rappelling down to the first level, out of view of the scientists. He moves to follow the scientists, but does not get more than a few steps before a click heralds the arrival of a security guard. The guard levels his gun at Blake's head.
Yeah, okay. Take it easy, Igor. No need to get violent.
I don't speak English.
He cracks Blake over the head with the butt of his gun. Blake collapses. Meanwhile, the Russians arrive before another containment unit.
We have determined that 16 iterations is the exact number required to create the optimal human being. Smarter, stronger, swifter than any human being has ever been. And gentlemen, we are going to create her today.
He moves aside to show the inside of the containment unit. Inside the unit is Jen-16. She is 16, beautiful, fit.
I give you X-15.
Head scientist goes over to an intercom in the wall. He activates it.
How are we doing today, Evgenia?
Just fine, Doctor.
Evgenia, we're going to have to do another experiment today.
Yes, Doctor.
Head scientist reveals a hidden panel in the wall beside the unit. There are some buttons inside. He presses a combination of buttons.
This one may be somewhat painful, I'm afraid.
Inside the unit, several lasers come out from various ports in the room. Jen-15 is alarmed.
Doctor, what?
4 beams of light strike Jen-15. They travel up and down her body as she writhes in pain.
Doctor, what are you doing? No!
As the military personnel look on, horrified, the lasers continue to travel up and down the suffering Jen-15 until, with a small boom and a final death cry, Jen-15 is completely obliterated. The lasers shut down.
Oh my God.
Now, gentlemen, if you follow me, I will show you how we will use the information we just extracted from X-15 to grow our masterpiece in a scant 6 months.
Head scientist walks on. The soldier continues to stare horrified at the now empty chamber. Cut to title card Facility 12, 6 months later. Interior, Blake's cell, night. Blake, now in a prison uniform, is sitting quietly in his prison cell in the facility. Suddenly, a shrill beep goes off. It's coming from inside Blake's head. Blake winces. He puts a hand to his head. The voice of the transmitting agent can be heard emanating from Blake's head.
Agent Trudeau, can you hear me?
Yeah, keep it down.
Sorry, Agent Trudeau. All the technology we're using with you is brand new.
Yeah. Blake Trudeau, official CIA guinea pig. I get it. Am I getting out of here now?
The Russian government has officially acknowledged nothing of your presence or capture.
Oh, big shock there. They don't even acknowledge the existence of this facility.
Have you acquired the target yet? You located X-16.
Well, I've been meaning to talk to you about that.
A guard from down the hall outside looks suspiciously in Blake's direction.
They keep this facility divided. Regular prisoners in one area, whatever else in another. I located a few of the, what do they call them? Iterants, but not the target.
That's unfortunate, Agent Trudeau, because extraction is set to begin in exactly 24 hours.
You leave me sitting on my ass for 6 months and then you give me only 1 day to get the package and get out?
I believe the director expected you'd be doing more than sitting on your ass for the last 6 months.
The guard has approached Blake's cell and is looking inside.
Hey, Ivan, how you doing?
Blake smiles broadly. The guard sneers and walks on.
Okay, listen, there's one opportunity to make contact. Every afternoon we get rec time out in the yard here. The yard is divided too, but only by a chain link fence. I'm sure I can get to X-16 then.
Very good, Agent Trudeau. We will alert you when you were to begin extraction. Remember, it will be 24 hours from now. So act quickly.
Okay, just one question.
Yes, Agent Trudeau.
Did the Lakers win the championship again?
Agent Trudeau, are you aware that this transmission is costing your government about $50,000 a second?
Gives you a hell of a name on it, too.
Goodbye, Agent Trudeau.
With a buzz, the transmission ends. Blake leans back in his bunk.